ChatGPT said, what you focus on expands. It becomes the lens through which you experience life. Every joy, every fear, every limitation you believe in begins with where your attention goes. Imagine standing in a crowded room where countless conversations, sounds, and movements are happening all at once. Yet your mind tunes into only one voice, one emotion, one thought. That single focus becomes your entire world in that moment. Life works the same way. It's not what's happening around you, but what you choose to notice that creates your reality. Most people think their lives are shaped by circumstances, luck, or talent, but the truth is far simpler. Life is shaped by focus. Where attention goes, energy flows and results show. If your focus is on what's wrong, your brain will constantly find evidence to confirm it. But shift that focus toward what's possible, and suddenly solutions begin to appear. Opportunities start to unfold, and a sense of purpose begins to rise from within. Focus has the power to create miracles or magnify misery. The same situation can either break you or build you, depending on what part of it you concentrate on. When you choose to focus on gratitude, strength, and potential, your emotions follow, and those emotions become the fuel for action, growth, and transformation. But if you give your focus to fear, doubt, or regret, they become your reality instead. Every person carries this silent power, often without realizing it. The mind is like a spotlight. Whatever it illuminates becomes the center of your world. And if focus truly equals reality, then every day, every thought, and every moment becomes an opportunity to choose the kind of life you want to see, feel, and live. Focus is the invisible force that shapes every experience, emotion, and outcome in life. It acts as the filter through which the mind interprets the world. From the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep, focus determines what we notice, what we ignore, and ultimately how we feel. Every decision, every belief, every reaction begins with what we choose to pay attention to. Two people can face the same event. One sees despair, the other sees opportunity. The difference isn't in the situation, it's in what they focus on. Our brains are designed to process a massive amount of information every second, but only a small portion ever reaches conscious awareness. Focus decides which parts make it through. When attention is directed toward problems, they grow in intensity and seem to consume everything. When it's directed toward solutions, the mind opens, creativity awakens, and confidence returns. Focus doesn't just reflect reality, it creates it. Whatever we consistently focus on becomes the emotional and mental environment we live in. Yet in a world overflowing with distractions, genuine focus has become rare. Notifications, noise, and constant comparisons pull the mind in 1,000 directions. This fragmentation of attention weakens clarity and drains energy. When focus is scattered, goals feel distant and emotions become unstable. We start reacting instead of creating, surviving instead of thriving. Without intentional focus, life can feel like drifting through fog, busy but without direction. But when focus becomes deliberate, everything changes. It's like adjusting the lens of a camera. Suddenly the blur turns into a clear picture. Directing focus toward growth, gratitude, and purpose brings stability and momentum. It allows a person to transform confusion into clarity and chaos into order. Focus shapes identity. It determines what we believe about ourselves and what we think we are capable of. By mastering focus, we take command of perception, and with it control of life itself. Every achievement, every moment of peace, every breakthrough begins with focus. It's the gateway between thought and reality, between intention and result. When we learn to consciously guide it, we gain access to the most powerful tool we possess, the ability to create the world we want to experience, one thought at a time. ChatGPT said, "In today's fast-moving world, focus has become one of the most difficult abilities to maintain. Distractions surround us at every turn, constant notifications, social media updates, endless entertainment, and the pressure to multitask. Our attention is pulled in multiple directions, leaving little energy for what truly matters. This fractured state of mind doesn't just waste time, it shapes the way we perceive reality itself. When focus is scattered, life feels chaotic. We lose clarity about what we want, and even simple goals begin to feel out of reach. The real problem isn't just distraction, it's the subtle way it controls how we experience life. Every moment spent focusing on what's wrong strengthens a pattern of negativity. When attention is consumed by fear, comparison, or doubt, those emotions become our truth. It's not that challenges increase, it's that our focus magnifies them. The human mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's repeatedly imagined, so the more we dwell on problems, the more real and overwhelming they feel. This lack of control over focus leads to emotional exhaustion. It becomes difficult to stay motivated, to think creatively, or to see possibilities.
Many people wake up feeling anxious and unfulfilled, not because their lives are empty, but because their attention is trapped in cycles of worry and distraction. They chase external stimulation to fill the void that only intentional focus can satisfy. Without realizing it, they allow the outer world to dictate their inner world. The challenge is not about eliminating distractions entirely, that's impossible, but about regaining control over what deserves attention. Focus is a limited resource. Every moment spent on negativity or meaningless noise drains the energy that could be fueling growth, purpose, and fulfillment. The problem intensifies when people forget that focus is a choice. They react to life instead of shaping it. They allow circumstances, technology, and other people to decide where their attention goes. The greatest challenge then is to wake up from this unconscious drift and reclaim the ability to direct focus deliberately. Because until that happens, life feels reactive and unpredictable. But once awareness returns to what we focus on, clarity, confidence, and control begin to re-emerge, and the path to transformation becomes visible again. ChatGPT said, "The moment a person begins to take control of their focus, everything starts to shift. What once felt overwhelming begins to make sense, and what once seemed impossible starts to feel achievable." The power of focus lies in its ability to transform perception, which in turn transforms reality. When attention is deliberately directed toward growth, strength, and gratitude, the mind begins to reorganize itself. It starts to recognize opportunities where before it saw only obstacles. Problems lose their weight, and energy flows towards solutions. Focus is not just mental, it's emotional and physical too. What we focus on determines how we feel, and how we feel determines what we do. A person who focuses on fear naturally contracts, hesitates, and holds back. But when focus shifts to possibility and progress, the body responds with energy and confidence. This connection between focus, emotion, and action explains why even small changes in attention can create massive changes in results. The direction of focus decides the direction of life. Every great achievement begins with clarity, and clarity is born from focus. When attention is scattered, goals feel vague, and progress stalls. But when focus narrows onto one vision or one purpose, distractions fade into the background. The mind becomes sharper, decisions become easier, and momentum builds naturally. It's not about ignoring reality, but choosing which part of reality to emphasize. The same event can either be a reason to give up or a reason to grow, depending on what we focus on. Developing strong focus requires awareness. It means noticing when attention drifts to negativity and consciously bringing it back to what matters. It means asking empowering questions like, "What can I control right now?" or "What lesson can I take from this?" These questions guide focus toward progress rather than pain. With practice, this becomes second nature. Focus stops being something that happens by accident and becomes a deliberate act of creation. As focus strengthens, life feels lighter, more meaningful, and more intentional. Energy is no longer wasted on what cannot be changed, but invested in what can be improved. Through this shift, individuals discover a powerful truth, that focus is not only the key to success, but the foundation of peace, resilience, and fulfillment. ChatGPT said, "There comes a defining moment when everything changes, a point where awareness collides with decision. It's the instant you realize that life isn't about what happens to you, but about what you choose to focus on. In that moment, clarity pierces through confusion, like light breaking through darkness. You see that every limitation, every doubt, every obstacle has been magnified by attention. The realization hits, if focus created the problem, focus can also create the solution. This is the turning point. When control returns to your hands, you begin to see how much power has been silently waiting within you, hidden behind distractions and fears. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you start shaping them. The mind, once scattered and restless, becomes an instrument of precision. It begins to seek meaning, rather than problems, growth rather than excuses. This is not a gradual shift. It feels like waking up from a dream where you finally recognize that you were the one holding the steering wheel all along. In this key moment, emotions begin to align with clarity. The noise of the world fades, and a calm determination takes its place. You feel a deep sense of responsibility, and with it, freedom. The power to direct focus means the power to design life. Challenges no longer appear as barriers, but as opportunities to strengthen the ability to focus even more deeply. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I create from this?" That simple change in focus transforms frustration into fuel. From this point forward, every thought becomes intentional. You no longer waste energy on what's missing. Instead, you pour it into what's possible. The world doesn't instantly change, but your relationship with it does. You become the architect of your own reality, using focus as your tool. The key moment isn't about external victory, it's about internal mastery. Once you experience the power of consciously directing your attention, you can never unsee it. You understand deep within that focus has always been the hidden force shaping every outcome. And now, you finally hold the power to shape it back. ChatGPT said, "Now is the time to take control of your focus, and with it, your reality. Every thought, every emotion, every outcome begins with where your attention goes. If you want to create change, it starts not in the world around you, but in the world within you. You already possess the power to shape your experiences. All it takes is the decision to focus on what truly matters. The direction of your attention will always determine the direction of your life. Begin today by noticing where your focus naturally drifts. Are you giving your energy to what empowers you, or to what drains you? Awareness is the first step toward transformation. When you catch your mind wandering toward fear or limitation, pause and redirect it toward gratitude, progress, and purpose. Even a few conscious shifts each day can reshape your mindset and your emotions. What you repeatedly focus on becomes the foundation of your identity, so build it with intention. Commit to daily practices that strengthen your focus. Start each morning by setting a clear intention for the day. Visualize the outcomes you want to experience, and feel the emotion of already achieving them. Throughout the day, guard your attention fiercely. Limit distractions that serve no purpose. Surround yourself with people, environments, and ideas that align with your goals. Your focus is your most valuable resource. Protect it as such. Remember, focus creates meaning, and meaning creates motivation. When you choose to focus on growth instead of problems, you begin to see possibilities where none existed before. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every setback a stepping stone. You can't control everything that happens, but you can always control what it means to you. That control is where your strength lies. So take a deep breath and decide from this moment on you will direct your focus consciously. Choose to see the opportunity in every obstacle and the lesson in every difficulty. Feed your mind with thoughts that build, not thoughts that break. The life you desire already exists. It's waiting for your focus to bring it into view. Your reality is your choice, and your focus is the key to unlocking it.